Hello. Hello, guys. Oh, I will have to turn up the... It's going to be a bit loud, but I need it because the fan option is too soft. I'm melting here. I'm melting inside. How are you guys? I'm a bit annoyed. Honestly, I'm a bit annoyed because I tried to turn on the live stream. I tried like 3 times. 3 times. And it wouldn't appear. My live, like, it wouldn't appear. I don't know what is it. I don't know what is it, if it's something like personal with me. But I was in the live and I was checking on my phone and it said like that, you know, that you had to wait, that I was about to get on the live, but you know, there was no image. There was like waiting. And I was like, but if I'm here, like, like I'm recording myself, like what is going on? I'm here. Oh no. I'm using another phone to improve a bit the quality because the one that usually I use, you know, that it had a bit of like a crack in the side of the screen, and it would make, I think that it has to do a bit with the, not just with the internet, that the internet connection is bad, but I also was thinking that that, you know, that lately on I do watch my replays, and I noticed that there was a lot of not just lagging, but the quality of the video was awful. It was just like glitching. The screen looked very blurry, like very, like not good to the eyes. Like you were like, what is there? Like what? And like I cannot create content like that. Like I'm just, you know, thankful enough, you know, I'm so thankful that you guys, you know, are very respectful of my work, you know, that I work with the phone, I record with the phone, I do the live streams with the phone, and I don't use anything like fancy to edit neither. So, you know, but the camera or the quality of the video was very awful. So that's why I'm using another one that is not like, oh, it's not the best, but it's a new one that is just for like it's reset just for the live streams. It's just that I think that maybe it didn't recognize the phone, or there's something that I don't know. I had trouble logging in. I had trouble like going live. So is YouTube sabotaging my live stream? Thank you, Fluffy. Thank you for the feedback. Can you hear me well, guys? Do you hear? Because if it's too noisy, the AC, I'm going to turn it off. Let me know if you can, if it's like too loud, if you hear it too loudly. because I'm noticing that I'm already shouting. I'm already raising my voice. Because the sound is very is very deafening. It's very strong. Uh, okay, thank you, thank you. But if you hear that I'm like raising my voice or it feels like I'm shouting, is because this I do hear it. It's very close to my ear and it's loud. But it's very fresh. It's fresh air. So I'm also thankful for the AC, even though like it's very loud for me. It's very loud to have its. I can hear the engine running. It's very loud in here. So if you hear me like shouting, it's not that I'm like shouting at the microphone. It's just that I'm raising my voice because I'm trying to overcome my companion in here. That is this AC. Hello, Catalina. Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you guys for being here. I was very frustrated. I was like, okay, I guess I will postpone the live stream for tomorrow. But tomorrow I believe that there's going to be a storm coming, so I didn't want to risk it neither. Oh, yes. Don't worry. Thank you, guys. Thank you, guys. Yeah, I came from my trip. I arrived on Monday in the afternoon to the news that Kali has been feeling sick. She has been vomiting. I don't know what she ate. I took her to the vet yesterday. They gave her a few shots for her not to puke anymore. But let's see. She has been feeling a bit odd. I don't know if it's. I think that she definitely ate something and it messed up with her stomach, or maybe she swallowed something. Yeah, I know. I'm like so. I'm like, why am I so unlucky with these cats? I swear, the other day, I also had a bit of. I was like. I was so desperate because Nevita she usually she jumps from the other roof through a sort of net, and this net that is like made of mesh, it usually is very tight, but when she step on it to jump into the other ceiling, it gave away, and she fell from the rooftop to the ground. And I believe it's like in meters, it would be like 3.5, I guess, meters from the roof to the ground. She landed on her feet like a cat. When they say like the cat usually, like the cat always lands on their feet, but she definitely landed on her feet. But then then she sort of like laid down a bit, yeah, because she was walking a bit funny, because I noticed she put a lot of pressure, like she landed on the back, on her back legs. So then she was a bit shaky. I guess it's because it was, I was like, oh no, my God, she's falling. Oh no, but she's okay. I don't know. That cat is like a warrior. Definitely, that cat has the extra 9 lives and plus. Nerita is like a whole warrior. But Kali, I don't know what happened to her. I don't know what she ate. I know that she probably ate something in excess, or she stole some food, or she did something and it messed up her stomach. So let's see. Yes. No, it's just that I was it was we were in the dark because it was nighttime, but she never turned. She fell like this. Like she, I swear, she never did the. You know when they try to turn? No, she didn't turn. She just fell on her feet like this. Boom. I was so the way I screamed, the way I screamed when I saw it, and then she continued walking like as if nothing happened, and I was like freaking out. And I told my dad, and my dad was like, "Ah." I was sounding like, but I was like, but she fell from. It's a lot of distance. A lot of distance. Like that cat is a miracle. Like the ability. Also, I think that definitely it shows, how her being a very agile cat. Because she's used to wandering, she's used to jumping, she's used to, going places. So definitely her body must be like, must be wired like that. I think that if it was another cat, it would have landed in the wrong way. I don't care if it's, because sometimes people are like, oh, because cats always they land on their feet. I seen some cats that they don't land on their feet. They slipped and they didn't land on their feet. They hurt their backs or they hurt their hips. They don't land on their feet. So on their feet, on their, yes. I was thinking if feet is the plural option. Yeah, she definitely got lucky, yes. This happens a lot. My cat, she vomits a few times after eating grass or hunting a mouse or something and then having a hard time digesting, and it's not that serious. But I don't know for Kali. Yeah, because she has been continuing. But she's okay, I guess, when it comes to, mood, she is okay. But and she's hungry yet. But I was telling the vet that I noticed that when she pukes, like I remember when I gave her chicken, she puked the whole meal that I gave her. But then I started seeing that the color it's more like the dry food. So she advised me to actually keep giving her like more like humid food, like food like a chicken, like homemade food, and to to not give her like the dry food, the for a while. Let's see how maybe it's the food, but yeah, Kali also eats a lot of bugs. Like she hunts them. She hunts flies and all of those. Um, but yeah. Now today she was feeling a bit sensitive, like a bit not herself, because yesterday they gave her a shot of that medicine so she doesn't puke. And last night I had to give it to her like in a like I had to give it put it in her mouth. It was like the liquid form. I had to give her in the mouth. So I guess that's a very strong medicine as well. And she's feeling a bit like she's okay, but she's like a bit low in energy. She hates going to the bed. She hates the bed. The bed is a very nice lady, but she hates her. She listens to her. She's like, I swear that Kali never, like, I never heard Kali like growling to someone, being like, like being angry, like shouting like that. But she does that to the bed. She doesn't like the bed. I want to get another cat, but maybe I have to wait until I'm a bit better financial situation to found it. Ah, yes. Actually, if they fall from first to third, the story hides the chances of injury are higher than from a greater height. Oh, it makes sense, totally. It makes sense. Yes. Pets are so expensive. I swear. I swear. I had for Cali today. I bought this wet food that is from a specific brand that is from the gastrointestinal part and that's going to be her meal for for like the next 3 days, I guess. And if she does get better, let's see. Because she's hungry. Like I cannot feed her just boiled chicken breast because she's hungry. She's hungry and she cannot eat the other food. So and also it's so hot these days. It's going to be very hot, very humid, and she's feeling like a bit like like annoyed, I guess. But yes, they are so expensive. I don't know how people with children do, but for a pet, this is why and this is something that I've been thinking about. That I always tell my dad, because I know how the cats are, and I'm sure that the dogs are the same. When, and I don't know if my dad does this because him as a, not just that he's a widower, he lives alone in his house, but also because he's an old person. So he tends to share with them what he eats. Like, I don't want to blame him and be like, oh, it's something that he gave them. Because the other cat is great. She doesn't have any issues with food. And they both eat the same. But they do get used to asking if you're eating something they want to eat. And I always tell him, like, no, they have their food. Like, don't give them what you're eating. Yes. Don't know how people my age have children and don't go crazy. Yeah, I will be freaking out, honestly. I will be freaking out because things are not getting better. Things are getting more expensive as time passes. And now that it's Christmas season, yeah, expect the rises. I would be worried, honestly. Like, I don't know. I'm very like I'm very diligent with my expenses and everything. But just like pets, and I'm sure that when you have children, is you have to have the emergency fund because something happened, and you have to go and buy it. You have to go get a service. You have to go, that you are like praying every day that nothing happens. But either it's for a good cause or for an emergency, but you have to have it, And also, children or even the babies, they have a lot of like social, they get invited to birthdays, to, celebrations. You have to get them clothes. You have to, everything. it's money. Everything is money. So it's not the same as you being like, oh yeah, I'm all by myself and I'm deciding to not go to this party because I don't feel like it. If you have children, and they want to go, or they have a friend, or they have a play date, you cannot be like, oh no, let's not go. No, the kid wants to go. So yes. My dad does that too. And then he's confused to why my dog isn't listening to him without any food. Of course she isn't. She's smart and knows how to get extra. Yes. Yes. And they are so smart. My Kali, even she knows what time. And if I'm like having breakfast, she comes near me she sits next to me and she's like looking at me to be like, what are we having for breakfast? And I'm like, you're not having anything. You already had your food. I'm having breakfast. I'm not going to give you. No. I'm the emergency. I can help anyone else with an emergency, so stay on board, kids. Yeah. Yeah, honestly, me same. I mean, with my health condition, I don't want to say health issues because thank God, like I know some people that have lupus that they are, they are not doing very well. In my case, I'm very lucky, that I'm doing my best with the body, with the immune system that I have. I'm not perfect, but I don't want to complain and be like, oh no, because having lupus is tough. Yes, it is. Yes, it is, but it's not the same. Like when I know that when the illness or the sickness is active in your body, when you have lupus, you cannot move. You cannot function. Everything hurts. Everything. You lift a finger and it hurts. And it's all internal. It's one thing that leads to another. It's dangerous also. It's like sometimes you can be like, oh well, I have a pain here. I will take an aspirin and it will go away. When you have a low immune system, it's not like that. It's probably bad news. When you go to the doctor, it's always bad news. It's always like you have to take care of that because but if it doesn't have a cure, So it's like you can try to improve your lifestyle. But yes, it's a very dangerous disease. It can bring you down. One day we are good, and then the next day something happens, and we end up in the hospital, and you never know. Maybe we don't come out. So that's why I'm very respectful to the people that have like autoimmune diseases and other kinds of disease, of course, because it's like when the pain is all inside, or the symptoms is something that people don't see, but you feel it and you live with that like 24/7. I think that you just pray for a day with no pain. And also it messes with your mind. You start losing patience. You get very frustrated with yourself, with others. So yeah, it's tough. Yeah, it's tough. That's why I personally don't have children, because I know that if I will have any kind of pain in my joints, pain in my body, and I wouldn't be able to lift my child or to take care of my child because my body hurts or because I'm feeling sick. I think that that's not, it's not the child's fault. Thank God lupus is not hereditary, so it's not about that. But I think that the mother, I think that being a mother, it's challenging already. It's a very demanding role for a lifetime. So if you don't have health or vitality to somehow help you navigate that, then just leave me with my pets, with my plants, with my community. But a child, like, I don't know. I would feel so guilty to not be able to do normal things for my child when I'm in pain, or when I don't feel well, because it's something that we cannot manage. And there's not a cure. They can give you a lot of medicine, but there's not a cure because it's a disease that is unknown. It's unknown what it triggers it, but it's always like the system attacking the system, the body attacking itself. So yeah, it's very unpredictable like that. Um, yeah, we should all be grateful for our health. Exactly. Like that's why I'm like, we don't know what others are going through, so we cannot be like, oh, I suffer. No, I know that there's worse situations and pain. So if you can take care of yourself and live as comfortable as you can, or maybe live as healthy as you can, don't mess up your health, don't play with your health, because if you don't have health, you cannot do anything, you cannot live, you cannot function, you cannot be present, because in the back of your mind it's always like, oh, I'm hurting, I don't feel bad, I don't feel good, I feel sick, or I feel um, or you feel weak. There's a lot of symptoms that it sort of takes you down, mentally. Do you feel the psychological impact as well, all that? No, thank God, no, I don't. Thank God I don't. Sometimes I do get angry at my body, because I'm like, why, I don't know, today that I have to do this, why am I hurting today? Or if I have like inflammation, or if I have, that I always tell you guys, like, oh, today, my tooth hurt, or, next week is going to be like, oh, guys, my knee hurts, and sometimes, yeah, I do get a bit frustrated, because I'm like, I'm tired of talking about, I don't want, it's not talking about illnesses, but I think that it's like, we don't want to be that person that is always complaining about, like, oh, it hurts here, or I have an issue here. Like, I would prefer to talk about positive things. Um, um, but yeah, I mean, I don't think that in my case, I don't see it that debilitating so far. I don't know. Maybe when I get older, maybe I will start feeling more the psychological effect. But I'm very thankful. I'm very thankful of my body. I'm very thankful, because when I had to function, or when I have a challenge, or when I have to participate in certain activities, my body comes with me, and it helps me complete certain tasks that probably for other people it's like, no, I cannot do it. And for me, I think that I still can do certain tasks, but I also know my limitations. I know that just when I start seeing that my joints start to swelling, then I'm like, you need to slow down. it was like the gift you inherited from each parent. There are always ways to fill that mother role without having kids yourself. Yes, definitely. Yes. You seem so calm and balanced when we see you. Of course, I imagine it's not like that. And you must. Yeah. Yeah, I'm actually very thankful. Actually, when I tell people that actually there's not much people, I don't know in other parts of the world, but here in Argentina, there's a few people that they have someone that has lupus in their life, in their family, or that they heard someone that has lupus, or they know of someone. It's very rare, but for me, I think that that I've always noticed, that what triggers it is my emotional state. What triggers the sickness, I would say. So, or for example, bad habits. I don't smoke. I don't I don't consume anything that is like addictive. I think that the only thing addictive that I consume is mate, is yerba mate, is the mate drink that we all Argentinian drink. I don't even drink like coffee. I mean, I can, but it's not my taste. It's not something that I'm like, oh, I want coffee. I prefer tea, and because I know my body. Like I know it's weird, but it's like I know my body like inside. Like it seems like I remember my organs as if I was see-through, and I'm like, yeah, on the inside you look normal. On the outside you look normal, but on the inside I know that my organs they're in there, they're trying to do their job, but I'm not normal. So I have to be very selective about what I consume, because my body will not take it very well. Alcohol, I also have to restrict the consume of alcohol. I do love to drink beer. Because in here it's a custom, especially when the days we are about to enter summer, so people, because it's so hot in here, people get together, they always have like a glass of beer, or cold beer, or, a wine. So it's social, it's like a social, I don't drink it on my own, but it's more like a social activity. And it's very refreshing, honestly. For me, beer is like it takes away that the hotness of the day. Of you being very annoyed. I get very annoyed when the weather is very hot. I get very annoyed. But I know after I drink a glass or two, my stomach starts feeling not so good, and my mouth also. My mouth, it's like when I go to sleep, I feel like my mouth is dry, and like I feel like I'm losing. I'm not hydrated. I don't know how to say it in English, but like I'm not drinking water. Like I feel like my mouth is dry, and I have like a weird taste, and my stomach feels weird. So yeah, probably dehydrated. Exactly. Thank you, guys. Dehydrated. Yes. Yeah, dry and sticky. Yes. And then I'm like, why did I drink? You know when you're like, why? But I think that is social. When you are with others, you don't, and sometimes they offer, and I'm like, well, okay, we're having fun. Everyone is enjoying themselves. I don't want to be that person. No. I'm like that with cakes. With cakes, I'm the one that I'm like, no, thank you, I'm fine, because I don't eat cake. Because since I have lactose intolerance, I don't eat cake nor pizza. So I'm always like the one. I'm like, no, thank you, I'm okay. A moment of regret, yes. I'm like, why? I don't know how people that drink a lot do it. I don't know. I remember when I was young and we would go out and go clubbing, that yeah, I would drink a bit. I don't remember like buying a specific drink and just have it all for myself. I think that I would always like take a sip from someone's cup and then from another one's drink, but I would never like be like, oh, I want to buy that drink or that because I love alcohol. No, it's more than social. Because I don't like feeling bad the next day. I think that no, I don't like it. I don't like to feel bad. Like, you could eat vegan cake. I'm used to it. Like my whole childhood has been like that. Like me not eating cake other days, and I'm actually used to that. Like I don't look at the cake and I'm like, I wish I could have a piece of cake. No, I actually ignore it. I ignore it completely. I never like, I am like, wow, I wish I could. No, never. Especially because on birthdays there's so much food that I don't look at it like, oh, I wish I could eat. That's me with chocolate. Okay, guys, I'm going to start with the readings for Sagittarius idols. Um, I'm going to see if I can turn this on because it's so loud for me. I'm going to be brave and try to make it. If you see me sweating, it's because it's the mode of fun, but because I cannot be shouting. I feel like I'm shouting because it's so loud. So yes, I will let you know who I have on my list. I have Ateez Wooyoung, I have Exo Chanyeol, I have SHINee Minho and Onew, BTS Jin, and I have Enhypen Ni. So yeah, let's see. I know that someone asked me also for another member of Cat's that I believe I'm sure she's a Sag herself, but I believe she's 17 and I cannot wait for, if she's 17, no, not yet. I will wait maybe a year. But what I want to do for Cat's Eye, I'm going to read for Cat's Eye, as a group for 2026 when I start reading for the groups. But I was thinking about doing a personality reading for the girls of Cat's Eye, so we can get to know them better with the cards. Because I like them. So yeah, I wanted to do that for my channel. My favorite meal, empanadas. Meat, of meat, empanadas. We have our version here in Argentina. It's not the same as, the ones that they do in Mexico. It's different. I know that there's different parts. And we have here a meal that is called milanesa. I love milanesa also. Yes, Yun Chae, yes. Is still my personality really good person? Yeah, to get to know them. Yes, to get to know the girls, to get closer to, and also for what the new generations or maybe what the young audience what they like. For me, it has been I started to like actually Ive, the girl group. I started listening to their music, and it's not like my style, but I find their aesthetic and everything is so cool. So I kind of understand why I believe that their audience is a lot of children, children, and I can kind of see it because they're so beautiful, and besides being beautiful, I think that their whole concepts are very like dreamy, but not dreamy childish, I would say, even though maybe it's targeted, but I wouldn't call them childish. It's like a very, for me it feels, what they remind me of? They remind me of the universe of Sailor Moon. I think that each one of them could be a Sailor Moon, a Sailor Scout. They could be. That reminded me, like those very, like those feminine archetypes that, like heroines that you can choose. You had milanesas yesterday? Yes, I like it's elegant and kind of dreamy. The few songs I heard, at least, yes, they're so catchy, the songs, yes. It was you, Danya? I didn't know that it was you. Yeah, they must be so funny. Ivy's great, they are for Jen. They have this elegant and expensive take. Yes. And also, if we think about the company that they belong to, them having the possibility to be that elegant, with the low resources that maybe Starship owns. Thank God they it seems like they treat the girls good. I mean, in the sense that they dress them well and like, yeah, not trashy all over the top. Yeah, Love That is one of the best songs I heard. I like the elegant concept, like Red Velvet. I love I Am also. Yes, I Am. I love. Okay, guys, let's start. Because I don't remember if I'm using my data. I believe I'm using my data, but let's hope for the best. Pray for my internet connection. Okay. Let's see for Ateez Wooyoung. He's so hardworking. Well, all Ateez members are always like shown to me in the practice room. Always learning something new. Yeah. Okay. We start for Wooyoung of Ateez. We have the Four of Cups. We have the Ace of Swords. We have the Page of Pentacles in the middle. We have the Eight of Pentacles, and then we have the Eight of Swords. And then we have, from the other deck, we have the card of Two of Cups, Passion. Passion. Yeah, I think that with the Two of Cups, there's something about, he has to maybe relay a bit more in collaborations, I would say, like, strengthen your bonds, lean on others or ask others for advice or ask others to help you, because I do feel him very lonely. I know that he's lonely, or maybe he isolates himself because he's busy and he's like always like trying to be better, perfectioning himself. It's just that I feel him very isolated. um I don't know if it's something that maybe people notice this about him and the group, that it feels like there could be a bit of him, like, I don't want to say that he's separated from the group, but I think that there's something about him being silent lately. Maybe it was this year that he had shown like a more like private, like yes, he does engage. I would say he does start conversations, but there's something about him feeling like disconnected. Like every time he says something, it comes from a place of like, yes, I'm saying whatever because I'm not connected. I'm not connected. And probably there's something about him intentionally also being like, yeah, I don't want to say what I think actually because you guys don't care, or you guys will take it the wrong way. You cannot take what I have to say. There's something about him being like, if I was really honest, like I can be, you guys wouldn't like it. So I guess, I will remain. I don't think that he's like he's like silent, but there's something about him probably being a bit disconnected, like mentally. He's like, yeah, I have a few ideas, but also since you guys are not going to take it into consideration, maybe he also feels like he has ideas or he has good ideas or feedback, and maybe in the group they don't listen to him or they don't give him the room that he would expect. So there's something about him being like, like this, being like, okay, yeah, since you guys don't care, I would stop like putting my 2 cents. I will stop giving my opinion, I will just hush, I will keep my ideas to myself. Um, there's also something, I think that he's in now and the beginning of 2026, there's going to be he's going to be working on something, on a new project. I don't think that is for Ateez, probably it's like individual project. um but definitely it is going to be very challenging. It's going to be challenging. It's going to demand a lot a lot of him. It's going to demand a lot of him, a lot of not just training, but also maybe it's something that he hasn't done before, so he has to practice a lot, or he has to do a lot, or he has to I think that there's going to be a moment where he's going to feel like, like, I don't know if I can do this. But I think that he's someone that he's used to, starting over, I would say. Um, so I don't see him being afraid. It's just that he could feel a bit like, oh, again, do I have to, work extra hard again? Do I have to do this all over again? Do I have to put the effort all over again? When is this going to end? There's this frustration, I would say, in Wooyoung. There's this like, it's always, I always put the effort, or I always do extra, or I'm always practicing, I'm always working, I'm always, starting over, but it seems like he doesn't see the result. He doesn't see the result. So that can be a bit like frustrating for someone like him, that he's like, we have been putting the effort for a lot of years. This is not something that is just now. It had always been like this for us, always. So there's a bit of him maybe feeling a bit like annoyed, about this, feeling a bit annoyed, like why, or again, why is it like this? Feeling like it doesn't matter how well maybe he does things. It always feels like the training process doesn't end. it feels very like, I think that he's frustrated a bit with like, okay. Could it be something about him feeling like he's like a rookie, or that the group is being treated as if they were a rookie? Could it be something like this? Could it be that this is the overall vibe for the group? Maybe it has to do with that. Maybe it has to do with that. Him always having to show that, yes, we're working on something new, or yes, yes, I'm doing this. Oh, yes, he's always doing his best, I would say. But yeah, the Two of Cups, passion. So I think that honestly, for someone like him, he's a very passionate man, and I think that being part of in this industry is challenging, but it's also his passion. So even though things, or maybe the results that he's looking for, maybe they are it's taking forever for them to get a final recognition, or for him to get the final recognition that he thinks that he deserves. So I don't know. I would be like, I would be like, you better ask support of others. I would advise him to ask of others for support, for emotional support. Definitely. I would ask for others to have his back, to not do this alone. There's something about the cards being like, you don't isolate yourself. Just like do connect with others, and don't think that this is going to be like this forever. But yeah, because he can get a bit pessimist also. Can you hear me, guys, or am I gone? Let me know if you are, because I'm like, I don't have internet in here, so I'm like, is this okay? Are you watching me okay? Or thank you. No, it's just that I didn't see any comments, so I was like, am I still on the live? But yeah, there's something just very interesting about, every time I read for certain Ateez members, they always get the page, and the page, the page can come out for like the most successful person ever. They can get the page as well, because every time you start a new journey, or a new concept, or a new era, or a new project, or at a new place, you start as a page, so it's like the beginnings, it's the beginning era. And that doesn't mean that you are less, in your journey. But there's something just very interesting for me, that I just feel a bit bad sometimes when I see that certain Ateez members, they have the pages, and even for Wooyoung, that the Wooyoung, it's the leader, he always, like, I believe he has gotten the kings sometimes, but I think that the last time I read for him, he got the knight. So again, someone that is like, he's always going, he's always moving, he's always trying, he's always going somewhere, because he's like, if I stop, nothing will get done. So I think that for Wooyoung, I can kind of feel the frustration. Like it's not that this is going to affect him, but I think that there's a bit of, he can get a bit like cynic about this. Like, it feels like I'm forever in the trainee era. You know, it seems like I'm always training, I'm always working, I'm always doing this, and I don't see advances. I don't see advances. So it affects here, you know, it affects yourself, you know, how you perceive yourself, you know, it affects you because you're like, people say that we're doing great, or that we are amazing, but I don't feel like that. I don't feel like, even I don't feel like I'm being treated like as if someone that is amazing. I think that he feels a bit like, yeah, everything is cool. Like, I will take the compliments, but you know, maybe the numbers or maybe the reality is not showing me that you know, that I'm that amazing like people tell me. So it must be tough. Yeah, it must be like, and at some point you start doubting yourself. You know, like, why am I doing this? What am I doing this for? You know. Okay, I'm going to continue with Exo Chanyeol. Let's see. Exo Chanyeol. A lot of pentacles. A lot of pentacles. Also, for people that if you are a fan of EXO, I'm going to be reading for the members that are having a comeback or are included in the comeback. I'm going to be reading for them in my channel. So if you want to, you know, if you want to check it out, it's going to be this week available in my channel. Okay, for Chanyeol, we have Four of Pentacles, Two of Pentacles. We have the High Priestess in the middle. We have the King of Pentacles, and we have the Judgment. And then we have the Devil card, that is greed. Greed. And when I saw these pentacles, I was like, are we feeling a bit greedy? And then I got the Devil card, and I'm like, it's like the cards are like, yes. There's a lot of pentacles. Obviously, there's pentacles because he is working. Like, there's something about, you know, him putting effort, you know, with people for a result. He's going to be, you know, productive. He's going to be very immersed, you know, in this whole process. But I also, you know, starting with the Four of Pentacles and the Two of Pentacles, he already starts with an attitude of like, no one is moving me from here. Like, I don't know about the others, but you know, I'm staying here and I'm going to do my part, and I don't know, you know, so it's giving me like me, you know, like, and I think that, I don't know if I am remembering correctly, but I think that Chanyeol, isn't he a moon in Capricorn? Because, you know, him carrying the Devil card is also giving me Capricorn vibes, you know, like, you know, like, I'm the boss, you know, I want to do well, you know, I'm taking care of my reputation, my job matters for me, you know, but also money matters for him because, you know, I also have the King of Pentacles and I have the Judgment. So his energy also in the middle, we have the High Priestess. So this is why I'm a bit like there's certain things that he knows. Definitely he keeps secrets, or he keeps information to himself. But definitely the cards or the attitude is giving it away. he's very ambitious. He's very ambitious. And I don't know, I think that there could be a point where he can get a bit much, like with ambitious or showing off a bit or saying something. I think that there's something about, and he knows this, because with the high priestess in the middle, I don't know if he has someone like an advisor or, like a PR team or someone that is like, you better do not comment about this. So I don't know if Chanyeol has like, beef with people, or if people have beef with Chanyeol. That I think that there's some people that don't like him, like the public, I would say, not the fans, the public. I think that there's something about the cards being like, people say that he's stuck up, or he is, maybe he is too much into, maybe material things, like I don't know, and there could be judgment. There could be judgment with the king, and the judgment. There could be judgment from people about him. There's something about, maybe he buys something, maybe he shows something that belongs to him, and people are like, oh, you are always spending money, or you are always like, where did you get that money? Like, there's something with money and possessions of Chanyeol that people just don't buy it. People are like, where did you get that? Because the other members don't have it, or the other members don't live the way you live. So I'm like, what is going on with Chanyeol? Maybe lifestyle people. Maybe he hangs out with people that are also very greedy, because the temptation is here with the devil. Definitely, there's something about, temptation, attachment to material things, and the high priestess in the middle is someone that is like, he has the information. He has someone that advises him to lay low. So I don't know if he has like hidden enemies, or people that are waiting for him to show up, or to show something, or say something about himself, and people are ready to attack him. So I don't know. I would advise him to stay silent also. But I kind of understand that, when you are so famous as he is, or maybe he's someone that he draws a lot of attention to himself, like the Sagittarius energy that is very majestic. Probably he's a very tall guy, he gets your attention, even when he doesn't want to be in the spotlight, or maybe when he's like, I'm just being here laying low, but, I the eyes are on me at the end. So, and there's something about him just not feeling regrets about what he does with his life. There's also this, with all these pentacles, the Four of Pentacles is giving me very stubborn energy of like, this is how I live my life, and I'm not changing. I'm not changing. I live well, or I have these friends, or I hang out with these people because I like them, and I'm not changing. So you can call me names, but I'm not changing. There's something about him not wanting to change levels. Like, maybe he hangs out with a certain kind of crowd or people that is all about money, or image, or prestige, or, and people just have like this feeling of like, that is not positive. It's not positive. And I wonder if he was advised also for some time, if he was advised to remain silent about something. Because the high priestess is an advisor. It's someone that is like, that you have to behave, that that you cannot give these people, something to talk about, because they're waiting for him to show up. And they are going to complain. They are going to judge him. He has the judgment at last, so he cannot escape the judgment. And probably is going to come in a moment where he's going to do his best. Actually, he's going to be like this powerful king. Actually, he's going to shine, or he's going to have the spotlight, and he's going to do very well. Maybe it's with the group. So, but I think that there's something that people are not buying from him anymore, and it's personal. It's really personal. But he's also like not. He's not flexible. He's like, I know these days. I know the judgment is going to come. I know it. He can kind of. He's like, okay. He tries to remain, like calm about this, and maybe he's like, okay, I will not comment or make a comment or say something, but there's something about greed in here. There's something about money or about connections. I don't know, but I think that there's maybe it's not even him, but it's who he associates with. But it seems like people have pendant issues with him. They are waiting for him to come out. They are waiting for him to come back, I would say. Maybe come back to the spotlight or come back to, I don't know, to another kind of creating more content or being more out there. But I don't know why. I don't know why I get like people call him greedy. Like people are like, you are so greedy. But yeah, I mean, he cannot escape it. I think that there's something about him also, just being this very this person that he takes up a lot of space. He's very hard to ignore. He also has his pride. He also has his pride, his attitude. So maybe people are like, oh, you never change. You're always like this. But it's an old beef. Yeah, it's an old beef that people are not letting go of that. This is why we have the devil, because it's like there's like a huge attachment of like, oh, I know you, or I know you from before, or I remember what you did, or something like that. I don't know what happened. But it feels tough. I don't see him defending himself, but I think that he would just take it like it is. But it doesn't feel like, oh, I'm receiving the love, and no. People have like a personal thing with him. It's with him the thing. Yes. Yes. Yeah. Because the card is very literal. With the devil card, it's like, Okay, I'm going to continue with SHINee Minho. What is going on with these Sagittarius idols? That they are so disappointed oh my. Like it's like an up and down when it comes to energy, or when what is going on with Minho? Because I know that he has been doing very well. I have been watching his content, but why he gets the Six of Cups twice? So there's something about his past that maybe he's like having a hard time, like really like letting go of past, or maybe he's like too attached to the past, even though maybe we see him and we are like, oh, but he's actually very active, or he's doing a lot, or he's advancing a lot with different kinds of jobs, opportunities, and he's always also, he has like a great energy. He's very motivating. But why do I feel him like he's stuck on something from the past? He cannot advance. Okay, for Minho, we have Five of Pentacles, we have the Four of Cups, we have the Six of Cups in the middle, we have the Magician, and we have the Five of Cups. A lot of cups and a lot of fives. And then again, we have the Six of Cups, memories. Memories. I mean, I wouldn't say that he's not happy, but I would say that he's a very nostalgic person. It seems like he advances a bit, but then he goes back to the memories. Or maybe there's something about him, every time he advances on certain projects, he remembers his past, and there's something about things not being the same. And yeah, he remembers everything. He remembers everything. He's very nostalgic, very nostalgic. I think that he goes through, and this is very Sagittarius, he goes through moments where he feels sorry for himself, but then, he also denies it. He lives in denial. He probably is like, oh, like, no, why? I cannot be sad. I have all these things to look forward to, and obviously he does. He has a lot of opportunities. He has, it's just that there's something about him, probably, yeah, having great people around him, having, opportunities, but there's something about his life that he, again, just like when I read for William of Ateez, there's something about him as a person, as a human, him being like, I don't think that I'm advancing that much. Like, how sometimes for Sagittarius, to have a purpose, to have a meaning, to have, a purpose in life, to have that fire, that passion, it's like that even like that that ignite fire. I don't feel the fire here, and we're talking about Minho. So it's very odd. There's a bit of like, him being a bit disconnected, also like, yeah, taking opportunities, but then seeing maybe the outcome and being like, it didn't do very well. Maybe he was expecting more. Maybe he was, I think that also because there's a lot of cups, and I don't see someone, like I don't see any specific someone, so I cannot be like, oh, he had an issue, or he had a fallout with this person, or he had an ex, or something happened emotionally. I don't feel it like this. I think that for him, it's like, it happens with everyone in his life. There's something about this energy being like, it happens to me every once in a while with people, with different people. But it's like the dynamic is the same. At the end, I'm left disappointed. Like they don't make me feel like I want them to make me feel. I don't feel so passionate about others. Probably he feels passionate about himself. He feels passionate about, the work that he puts on himself, or, everything that he faces, or everything that he overcomes. He's very proud of himself. But when it comes to his connection with others, he feels like maybe the others are a bit like, not cold, but they are a bit like warm, like nor with him nor against him. So it's like it's not that they ignore me, but they also they are not that participant or that active in my life. He's like, I don't feel that strong connection and commitment with others. So this is why he also probably he stops putting the effort as well with people, because he's like, I don't feel the reciprocity. I haven't been feeling it. Probably in 2025 he hasn't been feeling it. He's like, I offer my cup, or I offer my help, or I offer my presence to others. I'm generous to others. I invite other people. I try to build connections. I try to show myself the way that I am. But I feel like from the other part, it's not, I don't feel like they feel the same about me. I feel like I'm left alone, they don't care about me like I care about them. So it's a bit of like it's a bit of him feeling like, is there something wrong with me that that people just don't seem to stay in my life, or they don't, I think that it's about commitment. There's something that I don't know, the word commitment, it comes a lot when it comes to Minho. He's like, I'm very committed to everything that I do, and probably he's that serious in relationships as well. It's just that there's something about him being like, when I show this to others, they sometimes they back down. They are like, oh well, yeah, this was nice. Yeah, I have to go. So he feels very disappointed, and probably, in the next months, he's probably going to take matters into his hands. With the magician and the 5 of cups, there's something about him also trying to look for answers and being like, well, the show must go on. I still have to be me. I am proud of being me. It's not about him changing who he is, but I think that 2025 has been like very eye-opening for him, in the sense that maybe people that he thought that they would be very important in his life, or that they would have a very active role in his life, they are no longer with him, or they are not in the way he wants them to be. And I don't think that this is about SHINee. I think that this is about other people as well, maybe other colleagues, people that share the same passion as him. He is like, I feel like I don't have friends. There's like this, and he's like, maybe it's me that I'm doing a lot. but he will try to figure it out, because he feels very, very regretful, because he's like, I try my best to give my all to entertain people, but they seem to be with me because they feel the obligation to be with me, or to participate in whatever I invite them to. So he feels like, am I holding a hostage every time I ask them to hang out with me? Like, why people are like this, and he feels a bit like why, and this is why we go back to the cards of memory. Maybe he's also, going back to his roots, or going back to his childhood, or going back to past experiences where he also felt like this, or where he didn't feel like this, and he's trying to go back to the past and being like, has it always been like me? Has it always been like this for me? Has it always been challenging for me to have friends? Because I think that there is about associations. It's about, he feels like people make him feel like he's a lot. And it seems like him being himself is a lot for people. And he's like, but I cannot be another thing. I am this. I he cannot be someone else. Um, but yeah, probably the root is in the past. The root is in the past. There's something in his past, or there's a pattern. Maybe there's something that he has to go back and look in the past and heal that. Because he got the 6 of Cups twice. So definitely there's something from the past that he has to heal. Maybe he got stuck in that moment, and this is why now he feels like, it seems like I'm all alone. Like no one is like me. Like no one feels things the way that I feel it. Um, yeah, very emotional. Very emotional. I didn't expect him to be this emotional. Mm, mm, yes. Okay. Let's go with Onew. Onew is okay. He's okay. Yeah, he's going with the flow. I think that you know the yoga and everything about Onew. I think that there's something about he has, you know, sort of a different mentality. You know, he's not all about show business, but he's a very creative person. Nevertheless, there's a lot, you know, there's a lot of things to explore still. It's just that he's not in a rush. You know, he's not in a rush to prove anything. Yeah, for Onew we have the Four of Swords. We have the Page of Pentacles, we have the King of Cups in the middle, we have the Ace of Wands, and we have the Justice. So, yeah, very nice. And then we have the card of Wheel of Fortune, turning point. Turning point. So, yeah, probably next year is going to be a year of, you know, like a lot of things are going to advance in his career, in his life. But he's not chasing anything. Actually, I kind of do see like he probably went through a sort of hiatus, I would say, in maybe 2025 has been like this for him. But nevertheless, he's always working. Like there's something with the Page of Pentacles about him always working, manifesting, or him building something new from scratch, you know, or him applying for certain classes or studying something new. I think that he's a very productive person. It's just that he did it with no pressure. You know, he's not someone that he's like, oh, I have to create something because this has to go or this has to be, you know, delivered because I have this amount of time and I have to deliver it on time. No, no. No, and also he's so kind. He's so kind, you know, just like we have this King of Cups in him. You know, there's something about him being very mature emotionally, very grounded, very sensitive, just very loving with his people, with his community, with the members, with the fans. You know, he's someone that he's like in his throne. He's just chilling. He's like, okay, guys, when you want to get back to work, let me know and I will do my part. You know, he's very committed to the work, I would say, but it's just that for him it doesn't feel like work anymore, you know, because the King of Cups, you know, is someone that has like he mastered his emotions, he mastered his sentiment, he mastered maybe his own inner world. So there's something about him just not he values, you know, his experience, or he values being alive, or just, you know, enjoying himself. He's very he's just very wise, you know, he's a very wise person, he's very chilled, you know, he's very positive, I would say. But yeah, with the Ace of Wands and the Justice, you know, there's something about him. Yeah, maybe in the next months of 2026, there could come, you know, a release of his, you know, new music, or maybe this is with SHINee, because we have the Justice. So there's something about balance finally be restored, and he's able to create something passionately, and this can be, you know, shared with others in a very fair way, because there's something that I don't know what is going on with all the members of SHINee and SM. I don't know. I only know what happened with EXO CBX, but I don't know about SHINee, the members of SHINee that are not part of SM and the relationship with SM. Since I have the Justice in here, I'm not talking about lawsuit, no, but there's something about him, you know, showing this passionate new beginning and new creation that is coming with him and from him. He's very much involved in this, and he's so passionate about this, and he's so eager to release this. It's just that, you know, there has to be There has to be laws and regulations, with the justice. There has to be a fair treatment. So maybe if he has to sit down with the company, with the SEM and sort of, make things clear so no one gets confused. But he's like, I will bring the justice because, I'm bringing something important. My retributions are important, my involvement, my creativity matters. So please, like, treat me with respect. Treat me with respect, and you shall receive. So there's something that is like very like a sort of protocol, but I think that he's like, I will bring the justice with me, or I will bring the papers, but it's just that, because he's so passionate about this that they are going to do. So this is why he's like, I want things to be fair, to be cool. But at the same time, the Wheel of Fortune, that is a turning point. For him, he's so flexible in this sense. It's not that he wants to fight people nor be against anyone. No, he's like, I just want to advance. I want us to keep advancing in our career, or maybe in their new releases, or what they're going to do together. He's not interested in making things difficult, or he doesn't want to get stuck. He's like, let's just get this over with, and let's get the wheel running. Let's get the fortune running. Like, let's dissipate the blockages, and let's flow. Let's flow with creativity, with union, with good vibes. He's a very inspiring leader, I would say, not just of SHINee, but I think that him as a person, his view of life and opportunities and being alive, and just being loving and respectful to others. He had mastered his energy very well. It's just that there's moments that he also has to get, very assertive. He also, he's like, I'm a man, I'm no saint, I'm a man. So, sometimes when I have to get, righteous, or I have to get rigid on certain things because I want the truth, or I want the justice on my side, I will also bring the evidence, or I will be very careful, and I will ask for what is mine. So yeah, he is very, it's like, I can be very spiritual, but I'm no fool. So don't play with me. Hello. Hey, Larry, I think that is you. I'm sorry, I cannot read the tiny letters. You just came on time. Larry. I believe it's you. Because I'm about to read for Jin. I'm about to read for Jin. So you're just in time. Yes. Okay. Let's see for BTS Jin. Are people judging him for something that he did in the past? Because I see a judgment here, literal. But he's doing great. He's doing great. Okay, wait. Oh, I almost had it. I was about to sneeze. Okay. For Jin, Judgment, 6 of Cups. The Knight of Wands in the middle. We have the Wheel of Fortune, and we have the 10 of Cups. And then we have 7 of Cups that it says illusion. So yeah, I think I was saying this about the past because I see the Judgment and the Six of Cups. So I'm like, yeah, is he been dragged into something, a matter that had it's not of now. It's something from the past. And people are judging him. Or are going to be judging him, but it's coming more from the past slash present. So I don't think that is something that is in the future. It's something that is somehow happening or has happened. But honestly, I think that there's a lot of cups in here. So, and I don't see money. So I think that whatever it is, maybe he has like a good relationship with certain people, or he just, emotionally or sentimentally, he likes them. So if he was associated with someone and maybe people are calling them out, or calling him out. I mean, like, oh, you are associated to this person and this person did this and this. He's like, well, I like that person, or I trusted them, or, there's something about them, being friends probably on the past, like an old friendship, or everything was cool with us, or this person was very nice with me in the past. So yeah, but he's like, and also with the Knight of Wands in the middle, there's something about him addressing the situation. I don't know. I don't think that Jin is going to come out and say something about this matter, because I don't see cards that indicate communication, but he's very brave nevertheless. With the Knight of Wands, he's very active, and he's also like looking at this side. So he's like somehow defending his posture. He's not running away from conflict, or he's not running away from what people are saying. Actually, he's like, observing it, and he's like, oh my God, like, it's not like people think. It's just that maybe it was like an old association or an old friend, but I don't see money here. It's more like we were acquaintances or something like this, or I helped this person, but it's more from the past. But the judgment could be that his name is being brought up, maybe. But with the Knight of Wands, I think that it can be a bit annoying for him. The Knight of Wands is someone that is reactive. So I can kind of see him being like, oh, this is so, like, this is not cool. This is not cool that people think this, of me. And I think that if he will have the chance, probably he will say something, or he will do something to maybe help, if people doubt of him. I think that he's very much like willing to, to settle things, or to help clarify something, because there's something about Jin being like, I don't regret my associations from the past, but I'm also, he's so spontaneous about, his life decisions, that he's like, I'm not doing, things thinking from the money perspective, or thinking like, oh, I'm going to do this to take advantage. No, actually, I don't see money like around Jin's energy. I think that Jin's energy, it feels more like a very true Sagittarius man. He's someone that he's living the moment, that he is also being active. Maybe, he is, and he's going to be one of maybe the few members that he is going here and there, and is participating on different things, putting the body, putting the energy, putting the excitement, also being brave, because I don't know about the other BTS members, but the Knight of Wands coming from Jin, it means that he's very active, even in an athletic way, I would say. There's something about him showing up in person, or maybe, collaborating and being in person and spending time and spending his energy, not just showing his face. It's more like he is getting involved actively in activities. Probably, could it be that he's one? I'm not saying like the only member, but could it be that he's like one of the few members that actually is remaining active in the media of BTS members? Because I see that he doesn't stop. He's not going to stop until they come back. Of course, they're going to have the comeback, but there's something about Jin being doing a lot, like being active, being adventurous, even, getting into adventures or getting into games, or like I see him very athletic, like with his energy being like, yeah, let's do this. Like, I want to do this with you, and then I'm going to go and associate with this person or go to this person's channel. I don't know. I think that he's so involved. He's so involved. He's like putting the body, the energy, his honesty as well, his humor, everything that he is. He's coming as he is. Very authentic, very authentic. He's like, I'm not perfect, but I'm not stopping neither. Like I have the energy. I'm okay. I have the energy. Just let me go and do more. And I think I don't see him stopping, actually. And then, things in 2026, things are going to start moving, and I see the comeback for the group. I see the comeback for the group, definitely. With the Wheel of Fortune and the Ten of Cups, it is like finally the reunion with everyone, and not. Sorry, guys, sorry. I was scared. I saw that red thing and I was like, what is that? I cannot see a thing in there. I cannot see a thing. I was like, what are those faces? I never saw them. Can you hear me well? I can't find the red flag. I was like, what is that face? What? I was like, thank you, Fluffy. Thank you for letting me know. How much did you miss? Until what part did you hear? Until what part did you hear? About the comeback, that I said that they're going to come back? To come back, and all of them? But what I was saying is that I actually, yeah, I admire his energy very much, because it's giving me that this is not about him just sitting and being pretty or being interviewed. This is someone that is like running around, like traveling, or probably like, I don't know, competing in a game, or just doing a lot with the body, putting the body to the test and showing a very enthusiastic attitude. So I'm like, great, Jin, great, great, great. A very passionate man, very passionate man. It's just that, yeah, for him it's going to be, literally like we have the Wheel of Fortune. So definitely it's going to be like, finally I'm going to start reading again once we are all together. Once the group is together, and the whole community unites, because it seems like his participation, or what he's doing, he's trying to defend, or he's trying to keep people together. I think that this that he's doing is not just him, doing his part and being active. It's more that he wants to entertain people, or he's like, guys, wait for me, wait for the guys, like, let's keep it fun until we all come back, until we come back to you, but let's keep it fun, let's not get dramatic. I think that he's doing a great job, and I admire his energy, because it feels like, like I'm sure that he's the one that chooses where to go, but it feels like it can be a bit draining, I would say. The Seven of Cups is also the card of illusion. So he's definitely very illusionated by the new year or 2026. There's something about him having a lot of dreams and aspiration, maybe for the group, for themselves. So he's like, he's dreaming big, or he's like, having a lot of aspirations about what he wants to achieve with the group. And also, it's very meaningful because it says the 7 of Cups, and they are 7. There are 7 members. So he definitely has, like, he's very illusionated by the idea of coming back, all of them. He's like daydreaming about this. He's like, yes, yes, yes. He's so happy. He's so happy. He's so happy. Hello. Okay, I have the last one, and then I'm going to go, guys. Okay, let's see for Enhypen Ni. A lot of 5s. Today, for some Sagittarius idols, they got a lot of 5s. So there's something just, like inner conflicts. Like, it could be conflicts with others, but it also could be like I'm feeling like you guys have something against me. Like, not you guys, the members. I think that it can be like a general feeling of like, I always have to defend myself. For Nikki, we start with the 5 of Swords. We have the 2 of Swords. We have the 3 of Pentacles. We have the 6 of Cups. And we have the 10 of Pentacles. And then we have, from the other deck, we have the card of the 5 of Wands. That the keywords in here is strife, trouble, tests. So yeah, probably Nikki feels like this. He feels like there's always trouble surrounding him, or there's always something, some drama or something, that maybe people, there's something about people just not liking him. It's not about not liking him, but maybe they are biased towards him. Or maybe if there's something going wrong, it seems like he's included in the conversation. Yeah, the 5 of Swords and the 2 of Swords. I think that he from time to time, he always struggles with this, with feeling misunderstood, with feeling that he has to explain himself a lot of times, and that people just maybe expect the worst of him. I don't know if people are like, oh, we know how he is, when you actually have no idea what his mind is like, or what his mentality is like. I think that there's something about communication as well, maybe miscommunication or misunderstandings about the way he expresses himself, that, he's like, at the end, I don't know what to do. Should I remain silent? Because, like, you guys put me in this very awkward state when I don't know if it's safe for me to even express myself. Like, he feels very like cornered sometimes. He's like, it seems like it doesn't matter what I do. It's always me, or there's always something wrong with me. So he can get a bit like, again. But in the middle, we have the 3 of Pentacles. So I think that definitely in 2023, and probably now that the year is about to end, I think that there's something about, teamwork, and there's something, I don't know if Enhypen is going to have a comeback, but I think that again, this 3 of Pentacles is the cards advising him to, just like I said about other people, rely on the other members. Like, I think that these are great moments for him to find support in working with the members, spending time with them, and just like, don't listen to others. Don't listen to the drama, especially if it's the internet or if it's, just some ignorant people. The Three of Pentacles is like, focus on work and focus on your team. Just don't lose focus. I think that his team can help him a lot. This also could be a good time for him to actually notice that the team actually has his back, that actually he has a good relationship with the team. And probably he's going to show it in the next months. In 2026, you are going to see a better dynamic between Nikki and Enhypen. They have a good relationship, nevertheless. They do have it. In spite of, I'm sure that people have their opinions, and maybe some people are like, oh, he's more friends with this one than this one, and then the other one. And I don't see it like this. I think that Nikki, at least for what is available for him, is the cards are like, rely on your team members. Just work with them, focus on working with them, and you will be fine. You will be secure. You will be secure. Don't look at the others. Don't look at the sides. Just focus on the group and focus on yourself. And they have his back. They have his back. So he's not alone. He's not alone. It's just that there's moments that he feels frustrated because he's like, it seems like it's personal. Like there's always something wrong with what I say or how I say things. So, he feels very confused about like, how am I supposed to be then? Like, and also there's something about here. I don't see like, a grown up. I don't see, someone like a leader. I'm not saying leader from the group. I'm saying like grown-ups, like an adult, like a mentor, like, adults, someone that's in charge of Nikki. Like who is, like, no one is advising him how to navigate this. This is why I'm like, I only see the group. I only see the group like supporting him or being like, come here. Don't mind them. Just focus on your work. Focus on us. But there's moments where he does feel lost. He does feel lost, and I don't see like support anywhere. Like I feel like it's him and the group, and that's it. Then yeah, the next cards in the near future, we have the Six of Cups and we have the 10. The 10 of Pentacles. Could it be that he's homesick? Because this is giving me like, like his family, or the foundation of his home. Not just home. I think that he has like a, Nikki is not just about his family. He also belongs to a legacy. Like is his family, but there's also like a bigger institution. Maybe it's religious. Maybe it's that his family owns a company or something like this. But I think that he thinks about it. Like, I want to go back. I miss them. It seems like he wants to go back to his foundation, because the 10, and also, like he doesn't need anything. Like his needs, his security is in there. He probably will come back. He will have, I don't know if it's like a vacation or if it's like a possibility that they're going to give him the possibility to go back. Like the Six of Cups is giving me like maybe him go back to his hometown or him going back to his where he grew up. It feels very like nostalgic. It has a lot of emotions, but also it's a very protected place. It's like a very secure building, I would say, and it has a lot of history. So for him, I think that he will go back, and probably this is going to help him maybe feel much more stable, because he needs like a role model. I don't know. He needs like a I don't want to say like a big brother, because it's not about age. It's about him feeling lost, and like trying to find grounding, trying to find foundation. And I see pentacles, so I'm like, it could be really beneficial for him to actually find someone that sort of functions like a rock for him. Like it could be literally an earth sign, like an earth sign man, manager, boss, teacher, someone that is very stable, someone that is like, very much in their own ways, very simple, very loyal. He needs to have role models like this. He needs to have role models like this, because he feels very lost. He feels like he hears, maybe feedback, or people tell him things, and there's like something that he's like, I don't know who to listen to. I feel lost. I feel like, oh, I do what you guys tell me to do, but then when it comes out the wrong way, then it's my fault. And so he doesn't know, he doesn't have like the proper guidance, I would say. And no one looks up for his like emotional security. And also he's very young. So probably there's this feeling of like, I don't know who to trust. Like, you tell me this and the other one tells me this, and I don't know what to think. I only know that I am in trouble. These are all tests. These are all tests to test his patience, I would say, to test also his temper, to see, until where you're going to live, things to happen. I think that he's also like starting to notice, or maybe he's learning as he goes, that that you cannot please everyone. That someone out there is not going to like you, and probably they have something against him, but that that it is like this. That it is like this, and that probably 2026 is also going to be a year with a lot of competition. So maybe it's going to be him in the group being compared to other boy group members, and there could be drama. So he just has to, just let it happen. Just let the drama happen, because it's bigger than him. I think that people are going to start fighting. The comparison between the boy groups are going to start to show. People are going to start fighting or comparing or observing. Oh, look, this group got that this was theirs and it was taken from them because this group, just came and they took it and they envy them, and it's going to get tough. It's going to get there's going to be a lot of competition. There's going to be a boy group edition. There's going to be a lot of competition in 2026. And there's not a single grown-up in there that can bring the order or can stop the chaos. So it's not about Nikki. Unfortunately, it's not just Nikki. It is that he has his group. He's not alone. But I'm like, the grown-ups, where are you? Where are you? I feel like a lot of groups, probably even more boy groups, don't actually talk much between each other when they have issues or worries. I heard several groups say so. His mother has a dance studio or something. Yeah. So nice. Yeah, so professional. Yeah. People are gonna get even more petty about K-pop groups. At least you have a lot to read about. Yeah, the people are going to start comparing. Yeah. Comparing, how they get. This is just starting. 2026 is going to be heavy. I still haven't pulled cards for K-pop in general for 2026, but yeah, when I do the live stream, probably next Sunday, I'm going to start reading for certain groups. We can start. if everything goes well. So yeah, let's see how it's going to go. Let's see. But yeah, it seems like it's going to be competitive. 2026 is going to be competitive. Yes. Yeah. More things coming to the light also. Yeah, with K-pop, you never know. It's always. I don't know about K-pop. Astrologically, it's supposed to be a pretty good year. So looking forward, maybe more activity. Well, that's great. Yeah, that's great to know. Yes. Yeah. Okay, guys, I'm going to go because I'm melting here. Like the fan option is so nice because it's not that loud, but at the same time, like I'm melting. So yeah, I'm going to go. But thank you guys for being here today, and thank you for the patience because I did restart the live stream many times because I couldn't, like, I don't know, I just couldn't get connected. There was something that wasn't working. But yeah, finally, like the first time was the last one. Yeah, thank you for being here, guys. I'll see you on Sunday. Bye.